Listen, I don't know what it's like to be a soccer player at the highest level, but I can tell you now that most South Africans born in the 70s and 80s, and maybe even in the early 90s, they know what it's like every time Hugo Bruce says, this is the 54-man squad, and then cuts it down to 23. How do we know? Well, let me tell you, because if you're 2000, you might not know this. We come from an era where if you've written your matric and are waiting for the results, you didn't wait for an SMS, you didn't wait for an email, you'd have to go out in the morning to go buy a newspaper and, like Bafana, waiting to see if they're in the squad, try and find your name. I am that old, but I can tell you what, they're even older. Utogi back then, they used to send it with a pigeon. Say, don't tell them they're fast. Don't give them a newspaper. But you remember that time?
Yeah, and he'll go fetch the newspaper with a kneecap.
Thank you very much. It must be the same, and we're at that point now. We're 55 members of the South African football fraternity have been selected by Hugo Bruce to cut that down for the team that will travel to the African Cup of Nations. We all waited with breath. I think it's going to be next week when we're going to see the final squad being announced. Welcome to This is Soccerzone, the most watched show when it comes to all things football on a Monday. I'm not alone. We've got the GOAT, Dr. Kumalo, and of course, I still call him TD. Walter Steenbok is with me here as well. Guys, an interesting weekend of football. There was 3 matches in CAF Football Confederations and Champions League. Mamelodi Sundowns doing what many expect them to do in their opening matches. They don't lose at home. Kaizer Chiefs losing away. Stellenbosch regaining a little bit of confidence, Doggy.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, I must say that we saw the best of Sundowns, you know, how they mesmerize Lupopo. And, you know, that's when now I saw a lot of loopholes in that Lupopo team.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to it. Don't tell me now. We'll get to it. But also, we're going to be giving you some international football in the Premier League. I always say, if there's one thing you can bet your house on, is the fact that Arsenal, at some point or another, they will Arsenal. What is to Arsenal? Well, it's to lose something guaranteed. Walter Steenbok feels otherwise this season.
Yeah, good evening to our viewers and also to the crew. I was listening Peter Drury last night, you know, and it's a known fact that a team that in the Premier League has 12 matches and has about 29 points at this stage of the season, never in the history of the EPL that they have lost the league. So Arsenal are bound to win this league this season.
Well, congratulations to Arsenal for making history and breaking this record. Being the first team to lead with this many points after 12 games and not winning it. It's going to happen. But that's not all. This is not my entire team. Today we're going to be joined by a very special guest, a man that we have such great respect for. He's here, of course, doing the rounds. And he said, you know what? Let the last thing I do be coming to meet you guys and having a conversation about football. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, joining us as part of our analysis team and to speak about all things Carling Black Label and, of course, the All-Star team and to defend perhaps a trophy that he won. I'm not sure. We'll find out from him. Coach Jose Riviero, he's going to correct me just now, Mazura Malefe. He says, it's not. He told you it's Jose. But the coach is here and we'll have conversations with him. On the other side is referee extraordinaire, CAF FIFA referee, the principal.
Lupopo versus Sundowns. 2 players should have been sent off.
Yeah?
If we bonang, this is Soccerzone Kim Monday. Which are those 2 players who have done what we call serious foul play, violent conduct? Zonke ukhanganelan. Ngiyabuya, thingo vula book FIFA ngibuya naye ngithi pa.
Well, off to Zurich he goes, and we go to all things news. Mazura Malefe has got the latest on Mbokazi and his trip to the USA.
Well, that's a first story, as Andile said. Hugo Bruce announcing an initial squad of about 55 players. There's going to be some brutal cuts here. Up to 23 players. That list must be sent to CAF just 10 days before the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations in December. A reminder that Bafana are in the same group as Angola. That game kicks off on the 22nd of December. Then they face Egypt, and then they face Zimbabwe in Marrakesh as their final group match. I'm told there could potentially be one more fixture just before they leave against Ghana, but that yet to be confirmed by the South African Football Association as Hugo Broos prepares to make those brutal cuts ahead of the Africa Cup of Nations. Now, moving on to the next story, it got to do with the Bafana player as well, making moves. That's TLB, Mbokazi. Just arrived back from the USA just last night and is expected to feature for Orlando Pirates against Chippa United in the Betway Premiership. But the news here is that on the verge, all but done, agreed 51 million rands that Orlando Pirates have agreed a deal with Chicago Fire in the MLS for TLB to make that move in January, shortly after the AFCON. I want to hear now from Walter Steenbok, just his thoughts on that potential move, imminent move really. It's done and dusted. Orlando Pirates have accepted that 51 million rand offer.
Look, he's going into the MLS, Mazola, and we don't have to forget there was Teenage Radebe when we were Chiefs. We also allowed him to go to the MLS, and then later he went into a Turkish league. I think in terms of the player pathway and his own development, the MLS allows him a further opportunity for him to be able to develop, you know, with better intensity and better competition, and also good training environment. Then later in the years, he can then move again maybe to Spanish La Liga and also into the Premier League. So good move for the player, but again, it moves like there's a lot of things that are really, really important. The player must be happy, the club must be happy, also the agent must be happy. So let's just wish him all the best.
Well, you know, I just wonder about what this means for Bafana, because you've got a coach, Hugo, who said Blom, Makanya as well, who's doing well there. I mean, he just won the conference and he's going into the playoffs. Hlongwane, even when Keishas Mailula was there, our national team coach obviously does not rate that league. What does this then mean for Mbokazi, who's going to play in that league?
For me, is the mindset. You know, the coach is also from Belgium. I mean, the MLS could be at the same level as Belgium, you know, so it's critical that we look at the leagues a little bit different. You know, it's a player's pathway. You know, from there you move into bigger things. And again, which other clubs in Europe have put up an offer on the table? You know, so lots of things are always involved when the player has to move.
Yeah, we'll see. Coach Hugo Broos will be live on the SABC in the coming weeks to announce that 23-man squad headed to the AFCON. Let's now turn our attention to second chances. TS Galaxy welcoming the older brother of Sekeletu Mahlambi. That's Pagamani Mahlambi. We know him. He played for Al Ahly. He played for Mamelodi Sundowns. Played for Bidvest Wits as well. But his career took a different path, and for the last 2 seasons, he's not been in action. Now, the conditions, Dr. Kumalo, here is that if he is fit, if he proves that he's fit enough, he will sign a new contract with the Rockets. Your thoughts on potentially reviving that career? Still only 28 years old.
He can sign with Galaxy.
If he improves and shows that he's still got what it takes.
Well, I guess I just want to be positive, because if we dwell on the past negative stuff that happened to him, we're not building the boy. So I just want to wish him all the best of luck, and I hope that he has learned from his mistakes.
Well, learned from his mistakes, and 28 years old only at the moment, and the expectation there is that TS Galaxy willing to give him an opportunity. Let's finish off with a conversation we had with Aubrey Mudiba, talking about a possible reunion with his former coach, Rulane Mokoena, at MC Alger this coming weekend.
We had a very good relationship with our coach, and you know, it's going to be a nice feeling to play against him, because it never happened before, and everyone is looking forward to the game. Even as guys were speaking about it, you know, that you know it's going to be nice seeing him in a different gear, but. Yeah, I think right now we're professionals. We have to do what we have to do, make sure we win the game. We know how he plays, you know, it's going to be a tough game for us. In Algeria, it's never easy, in North Africa, but now we've got a team that is going to put up a fight, irrespective of who's the coach and that, but it's going to be nice feeling to see him again.
And with that, then, we've got it all at the SABC, Total Energies CAF Champions League. Hugo Bruce, 1st of December, announcing that Bafana squad right here on the SABC.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that, Mazola. But also remember that there is a farewell game. It's going to be on the 16th of December. So the squad announcement, 1st of December, live here on SABC Sport with Coach Hugo Bruce. It's going to be the biggest moment for South African football, for every single player that is a part of that 54-man squad that's been announced right now. Then on the 16th, that's the farewell game. That also will be live here. We're playing Ghana on that day. 2 days later, on the 18th, we then go off to Morocco. I look forward to all this. It's our collaboration, of course, and our just the way that our zest for supporting Bafana, which we will continue to do so. Remember, like I said, before we go to MVP and your topic today, Coach Jose Riviero is here with us and will be joining us in just a few. But first, let's do some more.